So, you're looking to buy a house in the Netherlands. Great choice. However, there are a couple of things to consider before jumping into it. Some regulations in the Netherlands might be a bit different to what you're familiar with. Here's a list of 7 typical Dutch rules and regs to keep in mind when buying a house. As a start, yes, you can buy a property in the Netherlands, depending on your residence status. There might be different requirements per mortgage provider, but if you're an EU citizen or a highly skilled migrant, there are plenty of options. We start with the most important differences. Arrange your mortgage after the bid is accepted. We get a lot of questions about this. In the Netherlands, you can only start arranging a mortgage after your bid on a property has been accepted. This is due to the fact that the house serves as a collateral for the mortgage. You can schedule a comprehensive mortgage advice session before you start bidding on properties, after which our advisors can provide you with an accurate estimation of how much you can borrow. This advice serves as a pre-qualification for a mortgage. The purchase agreement. Since you first buy the property and then arrange the mortgage, it is important to be aware of the most important dates. The first one is the legal cooling off period. After you sign the purchase agreement, you have a legal cooling off period of 3 days if you choose not to continue with the purchase of the property. Normally, a technical inspection of the property is arranged before the end of the legal cooling off period. The financial clause. When you put in an offer, you determine the amount of weeks you need to arrange the mortgage. This is normally a period of 4 to 6 weeks. Some people choose to leave the financial clause out to increase the chances to get their offer accepted. Make sure to discuss this with your Viisi advisor. The security deposit date. This is the date where you need to put in a deposit of 10% of the purchase price as a security for the sellers. If you do not have the 10% of the purchase price available, we can arrange a bank guarantee for you. The date of transfer. This is the most exciting date, the day you receive the keys of your new home. You will generally not be granted permission to rent out your property in the Netherlands. Normal residential mortgages prohibit to rent out the property since it must be occupied by the owner. There are several providers who offer buy-to-let mortgages, which are specific products for properties to rent out the property, but you're not allowed to occupy it yourself. There are also mortgage providers that let you rent out the property temporarily if you're going to work abroad for the same employer. Interest rates are non-negotiable. All potential customers are given identical options for the same mortgage product. It is prohibited by law to negotiate on the interest rates of your mortgage product. And your mortgage providers cannot differentiate on the conditions of your mortgage. Whether you go through an independent mortgage advisor or directly through a bank, the interest rates must be the same. You pay a separate advice fee. As a consumer, you always pay a fee for your mortgage advice, whether you obtain it from an independent advisor or directly from a bank. When you get advice from an independent mortgage advisor, you don't have to pay a handling fee to the bank, and our advisory fee is also tax deductible. Dutch rules on lending amounts are set. The amount you can borrow is not mortgage provider dependent. The Dutch government decides the maximum amount you can borrow based on income and collateral. The maximum mortgage value can be up to 100% of the buying price. Note that mortgage providers can maintain different rules on which kind of income they can take into account, for example bonuses, and how much mortgage they can provide to customers with different residence permits. Get the property appraised. In order to get a mortgage, you'll have to get the property appraised. The mortgage provider needs to see the appraisal report before they can approve your mortgage. Capital donations from abroad. Are you receiving a capital donation from a family member from your home country? In that case, the donation does not need to be declared in the Netherlands. It depends on the rules in the country of the donor if taxes need to be paid over the received donation. It therefore makes sense to ask for fiscal advice in the country of the donor. For more information about donations, check with the tax authority. These were the 7 typical Dutch rules. Thank you for joining me today, and make sure to plan in the mortgage appointment with one of the Viisi advisors.